everyone, wherever you are tuning in from around the globe. It's a Dutch Ass Auntie Shit Show. Welcome to the channel and welcome to any new subscribers that have sneaked in. Please help do the usual YouTubey things such as subscribing if you haven't already, liking and sharing this video, as well as pressing that pesky little bell notification, and let's see if we can get this channel up to 20,000 subscribers by the King's coronation in May. Please also stay tuned until the end of this video for a special message to you all. Anyway, before I begin, I hope you are all well and had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrated it, and happy Hanukkah to those who celebrated that. My Christmas was spent quietly at home with my children, my elderly father and my cat. I ate a little bit too much food perhaps, but it was definitely nice and quiet. Well, until the Brussels sprouts, or evil little fart bombs as I affectionately call them, started to work their magic. Unfortunately, there is someone out there today who is currently finding themselves experiencing anything but a silent night, and definitely finding out that goodwill doesn't necessarily extend towards all men and women. The Sussex Squad have moved on a little from Jeremy Clarkson, and their latest pariah is Joanna Weiss, or Weiss, depending how you pronounce it. She's the editor-in-chief of Experience magazine, contributing writer at Politico magazine, Boston Globe columnist and Beth Shalom. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Joanna's latest article for Politico magazine has managed to incur the wrath and ire of the squaddies, which, believe me, really isn't that hard to do. It was published yesterday and is titled 2022 is the year we all finally got tired of narcissists. I'll put the link to that article in the description box below. It's accompanied by a black and white image that features several high-profile figures such as Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Kanye West and Meghan Markle. The article focuses on these celebrities and how, over the past few years, their egotistical, narcissistic ways have served them well, using attention as currency and ego as fuel to bring them global recognition, fame and fortune. It also talks about changing public perceptions and how 2022 may just be the year in which our love affair with narcissists started to falter. Joanna alludes to each of these celebrities falling from grace in some way, experiencing newfound public skepticism and a decline in their fortunes. Joanna delves into the Harry and Meghan Netflix series, noting that initially they seemed savvy for how they broke free from the British royal family, took control of their public lives, and brokered multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix, Spotify, and Penguin Random House. But now they have oversaturated the media with attempts to prove that no one is more in love than them, no one is more unified than them, no one is more socially conscious than them, and no one is more aggrieved than them. Consequently, turning an increasing number of the population against them with their limitless egos and their relentless quest to prove to themselves and the world that they are simply the best at anything and everything. As you can imagine, this article has not gone down well with the Sussex Squad at all. It took just a few short minutes from the time the article hit the internet before Joanna Weiss was, and continues to be, cruelly and horrendously vilified and attacked on social media by the rabid attack dogs out for blood and revenge. Twitter absolutely lit up overnight with members of the Markle fan club raging and swamping Joanna's personal Twitter page, as well as Politico, with vile abuse for having the audacity to brand Meghan Markle a narcissist and associating her with the likes of Donald Trump, Elon Musk and Kanye West. Joanna was basically doing her job and doing as we all do here, exercising her opinions and utilising her right to free speech whilst she still has just about some of it left. There was nothing wrong with Joanna's article that I personally saw, just her own thoughts and opinions. Many people are of the opinion that Meghan Markle is a narcissist. Some may agree, some may not. But since when does that give people, strangers, the right to launch deplorable personal attacks and bullying upon creators simply because they have a difference of opinion and a platform to air it? Overnight, I observed a whole host of vile abuse and attacks aimed at Joanna from Team Sussex. She has been called a racist, a Karen, a bitch, a whore, a slut, to name but a few. People have demanded she apologise directly to Meghan. People have demanded Joanna lose her job. I've seen people wish harm, disability, and even death upon her and her family. Even her name and her looks haven't been left untouched. The Sussex Squad have been unbelievably accusing her of racism and white supremacy simply because her surname, Weiss, is the German word for white. How ridiculous. Even I can see. And this morning I feel about as bright as a 40-watt bulb. That nothing is more than pure coincidence. That's about as laughable as saying Cilla Black was a hoofing great racist simply because her surname was Black. Now, many of you Brits on the channel will fondly remember Cilla Black, but do you understand what I mean? It's an absolutely ridiculous argument from the Squad. And just to confuse things even further, Cilla Black's real name was actually Priscilla White. One thing that many of us YouTubers can agree on, and sadly something that dear Joanna is very quickly learning, is that amongst all the harassment and abuse we get from the Sussex Squad and Harry and Meghan sympathisers, and believe me, it can be a lot, there seems to be three main strands. Either we are labelled racists, we are jealous because we are secretly in love with Harry or Meghan, or our personal appearances are attacked, simply because we post or say things about their dear Lord and Master that they disagree with or that goes against their narratives. And in Joanna's case, it's the third and last one that is the most repulsive to observe. She is, as I mentioned earlier, Beth Shalom. In other words, Jewish. You cannot imagine the amount of pure, unadulterated, unfiltered, anti-Semitic hate that is being directed at Joanna right now from Harry and Meghan fans. Well, maybe you can. A huge proportion of comments are about her nose, how large it is, and how much she looks like a horse. They are posting comments, photoshops, memes, absolutely disgusting memes. But in the warped, twisted minds of the Squad, this behaviour is perfectly acceptable, justified, and deserved. Complete compassion in action, isn't it? It's funny how Meghan and Harry are so concerned with so-called racism and misinformation from the British media and cry victim about it at every twist and turn, yet when their fan club yet again lob relentless, racist, anti-Semitic abuse in an attempt to cancel or silence a Meghan critic, it goes more or less unchallenged by both the Sharkles and the media. You would be very forgiven for thinking that both Meghan and Harry encourage and support these attacks. Personally speaking, I've experienced all three strands of this abuse since starting both my Twitter account and this channel. Being called racist is the one that makes me chuckle most, as I've always been very open with the fact that my eldest son is half Arab and my younger son and daughter are half Cape coloured. Now, just to clarify, the last time I used that term, it confused some of you. So basically, my ex-husband comes from Cape Town. His family and community back in South Africa are neither black nor are they white. They refer to themselves as Cape coloured. Now, I've read comments before that tell me I'm obviously insanely jealous because Harry married Meghan and not me. Please. So for any squaddies out there that are listening, and believe me, I know there are some, let me clarify that point also. Just for future reference, my ideal man is either Bruno Mars or Guy Sebastian, one of whom is Puerto Rican, Filipino and Jewish descent, and the other is a proud mix of Malaysian, English and Portuguese. So that, combined with my 3 children of mixed nationalities, rather blows any racist theories you may have about me out of your buttholes. And secondly, it's quite clear to anyone with a brain cell listening to this that pasty ginger whingers are absolutely not my type. And as for me being in love with Meghan, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, except to say that I could never love anyone who comfortably spends so much time on yachts. I get way too seasick. Going after someone's physical appearance and physique, if you don't agree with something they've said or done, in my opinion, is hugely immature, and nothing more than playground games that should be left in the playground. but deliberately attacking an openly Jewish woman, making fun of her nose, and telling her she should have burned during the Holocaust smacks of startling new lows of disdain, bigotry, evil, and hate for the Jewish community, and proves that there are no limits to which the squad will go in their blind quest to defend their stan. When the squaddies attack a person's appearance, all that really says to me is that they actually have no valid arguments. Rather than them responding directly to what they perceive to be criticism against Harry or Meghan, they drag up something completely unrelated in the hope that it's distracting, damaging, and hurtful enough that the other person backs down. Appearance and weight are sensitive subjects. No one likes being called unattractive or racist. Those barbs can be pretty painful and hard to recover from if they're thrown often enough, so it's no surprise that people like Boozy, Scobie, and the Sussex Squad subscribe to them and use them as their MO and drug of choice. They constantly bleat about us being hate channels, but never once have I ever seen anyone in our community throwing out anti-Semitic abuse. Believe me, if there ever comes a time that happens, that person would be blocked and banished by the vast majority of us within the blink of an eye. They certainly wouldn't be celebrated nor encouraged. And that, my dear friends, is what sets us apart from the Sussex Squad. Far, far apart. As ever, let me know your thoughts below, but before I go, I just want to thank you all who wished my son a very happy 17th birthday on the 23rd of December. It was amazing to see so many messages from all over the world. I'm sorry I didn't get round to replying to you all, but I promise you we did see your messages. Ellis has asked me to pass on his gratitude and thanks. He had a wonderful day, and now as he's 17, he is legally allowed to start learning to drive, hence why I've bought him his red L plates. Anyway, I'll leave you now to get back to your festive drinkies and inevitable food comas. I've already entered that twilight zone where you can't even tell what day of the week it is. So take care, and I'll catch up with you all soon. Bye.